Why, hello everyone. Welcome to the Chrono Cross One Plays Games. We're gonna do a little experiment here. We're gonna play Metroid Samus Returns, as you can see by the screen. I own this game, of course, on the Nintendo 3DS. The problem is, my hands are a little bit too big for that old console. I know they have an XL version of the console out now, which would probably work better for me, but I'm not going to spend the money to buy another Nintendo 2DS when I already have one. But what I did was dumped my cartridge onto my computer and downloaded a emulator. So this is, for all the purists out there, this is not the way you would play it, but this is the way I'm going to play it. I did play some of this on the console, and maybe I'll come back to it. But we're just going to play this a little bit. And I think I got the audio levels where I want them. Let's just, enough babble, let's go. Alright. So I did some test runs already. I played 44 minutes, as you can see on that file. But we're going to just start from scratch here on this second file I was testing on. I don't want to spoil any of the game for you. So we'll just go ahead and start that. And I hope I can read that tiny screen down there when I try to read the text to you. If not, I might have to pause for a second while I make that bigger. But we'll see how it goes. In the year 20X5 of the Cosmic Calendar, a Galactic Federation research team discovered an unknown life form on planet SR-388. While they were able to successfully obtain a living sample, their research vessel was attacked by space pirates during their voyage home. This attack was no coincidence. The space pirates had set their sights on these mysterious organisms called Metroids. They planned to replicate and sample and exploit, I put too many ands in there, its ability to absorb the energy of any life form. Their intention was to use Metroids as a weapon, one powerful enough to conquer the entire galaxy. To combat this threat, the Galactic Federation dispatched a lonely bounty hunter to infiltrate the space pirate base on the planet SAMUS. Against all odds, SAMUS Aran, or is that Samus Aran? I don't know. There's many ways I've heard it pronounced. We're not going to digress too much. Eradicated the Metroids on planet SAMUS and defeated Mother Brain, the leader of the space pirates. And so, their sinister plans, see, it's really hard for me to read that, were thwarted for a time. I mean, it's readable, but it's, just barely. Concerned by these developments and by the great threat to the Metroid species, too many words. The great threat the Metroid species still posed to the galaxy, the Galactic Federation mounted another expedition to SR-388. A special squadron of elite soldiers from the Galactic Federation Police was dispatched to investigate. The team soon went missing, but not before transmitting a small sampling of data back to headquarters. Analysis of this date confirmed a Metroid presence within the interior of planet SR-388. Maybe we should give it a more catchy name. It kind of sounds stupid when I have to keep saying SR-388 over and over again. Let's call it Planet Puke. Because a lot of it looks like acid puke. So long as they continue to exist, these Metroids would forever pose a devastating threat to the galaxy. The resulting decision of the Galactic Federation Council was immediate and Unanimous. I knew the word, but I stumbled on the pronunciation for a second. Samus Aran, you must exterminate the Metroids once and for all. Okay, with that over with, let's actually get the game on. I apologize for the mess-ups. Base. The final frontier. No, I was kidding. We gotta say something while this is going on. Well, anyway, so this is a remake of Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, which was a, you know, the sequel to the first Metroid on the NES. They put Return of Samus on the Game Boy, which is a console I never owned. So I didn't get to play that. So when I saw they were remaking it, I thought it was the perfect time to delve into that game in this way. So this is basically a new version of Metroid 2. But as I understand it, it's more of a reimagining than a remake. Because this is emulated, there's going to be a few audio hiccups, maybe some frame problems. I'll just have to bear with it because I can't do much about it. I tweaked it as much as I could. I got this running at 30 frames per second, which is nothing to actually be happy about. So there's people who can run this at 60. But I got the resolution up to 720p, which looks a lot better than the native. And you're looking at it in the full screen, which is something you won't see on a small handheld console. So it's pretty neat. But anyway, enough of that. Let's see. So I don't remember all I did, and I just played this a little bit ago. Oh, for those wondering too, I will get back to Curse of Monkey Island probably next, whenever it is I actually return to gameplay. I didn't plan on doing this until I found out that you could emulate the 3DS, because this is a game that I thought would be good for a playthrough. So yeah, you probably just saw another audio, you know, so there's another one. See, it was doing better earlier. I don't know. But I like Metroid because of the progression style in it, where you start out with basically nothing and you work your way through the game and improve. Now, of course, in this, you start off with missiles, which is something you don't start out with in the original Metroid or any other version to my knowledge. And if you do start out with them, you lose them. So, now let's see if I can remember how I mapped this. There we go. Alright. So, yeah, I hope the audio hiccups kind of minimize as we continue. I think it has something to do with the way that things load in. Whenever there's data that loads into the map, it's gonna hiccup a little bit. Alright, so we need, oh, not that one. I'm not used to this layout on this controller. It's kind of an Xbox-style controller. And I play PlayStation a lot, and I remapped it so it more accurately mimics the layout of the, you know, the buttons on the 3DS. Of course, I don't have a touchscreen, except I'm going to use my mouse, which will... I don't think the pointer shows up, but if it does, it's right... I'll be clicking on this screen in the bottom right, which is where the touchpad would be on the 3DS. As I fall down... Why do we fall down, Master Bruce? So they can pick us back up again. But as I was going to say, never mind. I forgot what I was going to say. And it wasn't that long ago either, so that just shows how late it is. I had some time, so I figured I'd do this. We're gonna probably play over to the first save point, and then I'll call it an episode. It might be a little while before I come back to this, depending on response. I mean, if whoever's, you know, watching my channel actually sees this and they like this game more than the other ones I've put up, and you know, if you're more interested in this, maybe I'll just continue with this for a while, and maybe do some longer playthroughs so we can get through the game quicker. I'm not good at like talking and playing at the same time sometimes. So, forgive me if I stand still for a minute. Okay, let's go. No, get up. Why isn't he? Why is it? I guess oh, there's something in the way. Duh. Come on, missiles. Let's think here. Oh, I screwed that one up. I always hate that too when I watch people try to platform when I'm playing or when I'm watching YouTube, and I'm doing the same thing here. I'm messing up on the platforming. The one mechanic I don't like in this version of the game is that right there. I don't like how every enemy pretty much charges you, and you have to do that melee attack in order to hit them before they hit you. I mean, it takes some getting used to, I guess, but once you get used to it, then it's fine. I don't like it, though, because it's kind of an extra button press. I just like to, you know, do that, or this. I guess if you were fast enough, you could get them, but I like the details in this, though. It's like the most detailed 2D Metroid game they put out. I guess it's 2.5 dimensional because you can see depth of field behind there with the background and everything, how they built it up. It looks nice. It's obviously made for 3DS, though, because the geometry is rather not smooth. It's kind of blocky. So the textures and the models are, you know, it's going to teach me how to do this, but I already know how to do it. I'm way ahead of them. Okay, but yeah, but it still looks nice though. And of course, like I said, this is zoomed in, so it's not like it's meant to be shown this big, but it still looks pretty nice for this size. I'd really like them to port this to the Nintendo Switch, because if they did, I would buy the game again, and just to play it on a big screen with full frame rate and everything. Because I know you could probably get 60 frames a second on there. Nah, I can't go that way. Okay, what did we do here? I'm paying less attention to what I'm doing and more about talking. Let's see. Dead end, dead end. I think this is obvious to anyone. Okay, just shoot it. There you go. That makes sense. That would have confused me. Oh, I forgot the melee, but we'll wait till he does it again. Yeah, but normally in that circumstance, you would think you would need the morph ball to get down there. But you don't have it at the beginning of the game, so you can't. I am actually recording. Yes. That would suck if I forgot to hit record, wouldn't it? I just thought I didn't for a second, so I had to check. Alright. I don't know how long this playthrough is going to be, but the more I don't move, the more longer it's going to take. So, another thing you can do is you can shoot in any direction you pretty much want to. You gotta hold down a button to do it, though. Otherwise, she, Samus is a woman, will only fire in 8 directions. And that's hard to aim specifically sometimes. And so, let's just move on here. But yeah, I loved playing the original Metroid when I was a kid. I actually did more watching people play the original Metroid than playing it back then. I only completed the game on my own as an adult, because I didn't own the Nintendo in the household. That was my brother. Originally, anyway, and then by the time I got my own, I didn't have my own copy of Metroid, and he was kind of hesitant to let me borrow his copy. I can understand that. You get kind of possessive as a child, especially when you have something like that. I'm actually surprised I even had a Nintendo as a kid, too. I mean, with 2 Nintendos in the same house was kind of... Because they were expensive back then. So, oh, that was one of those fall-through blocks. Okay, there's a save point, I think. Or is that a refill? Oh, it's a refill. That works anyway. And if I've missed some things as I was moving, I think I may have missed a missile expansion or something, then that's okay, because I'm not really going for 100% right now. I can always backtrack and find some stuff later, but I'm just basically trying... See, there's one right there, but I'm basically just trying to get, you know, to play as much of the game as I can, and so we can get through it. Well, we will return to it anyway, because right now we are just, we're going to play one episode, and I might, like I said, go to do Curse of Monkey Island and complete that first. And I do apologize for the infrequency of my uploads. I don't know if it's been mentioned before, but I have a full-time job, and it's rather demanding on my hours. It fluctuates. It's not always consistent. Sometimes I work a lot more than 40, sometimes right at 40, and it just makes it really hard to plan on stuff. So, what can you do? So we just got the Morph Ball. And, I wonder if you can kneel down on these and refill your energy. No. I think you can do that in Super Metroid, or I don't know. But, normally to get through these type of things, they added the crouch, but you would have to bomb through this with the Mirth Bowl. I'm pretty sure you'll get a bomb later on, so you don't have to do it this way, but... yeah, Morph Ball obviously allows you to get through those tight spaces like that, as you can see. Okay, that's a save point. Let me just look over here and see how long we are in this recording after I save it. I think I said this is as long as we'd play. Okay, let me see. Is that only 9 minutes? If I'm reading that right? I thought we were playing longer than that. We might as well keep going. Maybe beat the first Metroid in the game, and then we can call it quits. How about that? Of course, I don't know how far away that is, because I don't remember. It's coming up, though. This is, I think, where it stutters for a second. At least it did last time. Nope, not that time. So, it stuttered last time almost always every time I went to that room here. And that button lit up on there. Now that is purple acid, and we don't want to fall in that, because we'll get burned. We don't have any protection. This tells us how many Metroids we must defeat before we can move on to the next area, which is one mechanic they kind of carried over from the original Metroid 2, as I understand it. It was a fairly linear affair. To a certain extent, this game is too, then, but I think there's more exploration possible. Now, this would be a dead end to most people until you look up. So this game requires that kind of thinking. Check every direction, check everything you possibly can, which is, I like it. It's exploration in a sense, where you can unlock new paths and find new items to get you to move forward in the game, that kind of thing. I don't know, it's one of my favorite things. Which is why it's a crime that Nintendo doesn't make more of these, but they're gonna make a Metroid Prime 4. They got Retro Studios back to do it, and they're the original developer of the first 3 games in that series, and that's a 3D first-person shooter Metroid, which is okay, but it's not my preferred style. I own all 3 of those games, but I have not completed them, and that's basically why. It's just not really my thing. Never really was into the first-person shooter stuff. One day I'll go back and complete them, because they are kind of fun from what I played, and they do bring a lot of the exploration that you get in this and there, but the focus seems to be more on shooting things, it seems like. The boss battles are all that type of thing. There's hardly any strategy with the other items you collect involved. They're just mainly used to get you through the game to different areas, which is what they do here too, but that's not all they do. Upgrading suit for, what is that? Ion? Not Aeon, because it's got an I. We'll just say Ion, or Aeon compatibility. I don't know. Fuels, special abilities like Scan, Pulse, refill your gauge with yada yada orbs. Well, I don't know. Foes may drop when you either beat them or successfully parry. And I'm not going to bother to read all of this because I can kind of explain what each thing does after I get it anyway. But, so that's a hint to tell you to do basically this. Because that was hidden before and you couldn't see that. But that showed you could break that wall. That showed you there was a breakable wall there too. You can kind of wall jump in this game a little bit, which I like. I don't know what the limit is if you can just keep going, though, like in the other games. Oh, knocking me off, huh? You can only do one parry at a time. Unless you happen to get lucky and get them both. But that will take us to our first Michelin Man. Missile expansion. If I could speak properly. I have that problem sometimes. Don't we all, though? Sometimes we all have that problem where we're gonna say a word wrong. Even if we know what we're saying, it comes out weird like that. I don't know where that comes from. I mean, it just happens. Okay, I think this is our first Metroid, if I remember. Let's see if we get any lag on this. Or is this just telling us it's coming up? This is just the warning you're gonna see one. These things are ultra tough, or they get progressively harder in this game as I understand it. The first one's not too bad. We don't care about amiibos. Don't get me started on them. I think they're good for certain people, but okay, let me just say this. I think that whole thing is just one big gimmick, right? I don't have bombs. I forgot. They force you to buy these little plastic toys that are basically little plastic statues, and then you can scan them, and then they can unlock certain stuff in the game. But they're really hard to find in certain areas, and like they make some of them rare, and it's stupid. Like I never got into that anyway because I'm not that obsessed with playing these types of games where I'm gonna need to do that kind of thing, to buy every little thing you possibly can to, you know, quote unquote improve your experience. I'm perfectly fine playing the game as it is. I think the amiibo for this game would unlock like other suits or something, which is not necessary to play the game, but it's still, you know, for people that like that sort of thing, it's cool. There's got to be something hidden up here, or they wouldn't let you climb this high. Well, I'm not seeing anything. That's not lava, that's water. I don't think this is this might not be the path I want to take right now. Okay, I don't think I can do this anyway, can I? No, that's for later. So I'm talking about, like they lock off certain parts of the game to you until you can get the right item. So there will be some backtracking involved. Oop. See, I forget to do that. That's why I don't like the melee attack. Sometimes I forget to do it. Okay, this looks breakable. Yeah, I think I gotta go this way too, because well, there's a save point there. We'll just do that. Let's save the game, and then we'll go that way. So I don't think we can go down to this store below. Well, maybe we can, but maybe we can't proceed. Oh, okay, there's the Metroid. We gotta beat the Metroid first, then we can go that other route, I think. Well, I saw a missile tank back there. I'll go back for it. Come on, shoot the missile. That was a delayed reaction. And I missed my timing. Aren't I awesome? I'm not making this look easy. It's a lot easier than this. I just gotta do it right. Ugh. That's what I'm talking about with that. You know, if you don't hit the button right away, you're dead. Well, I did it a bit too early there. I'm probably gonna die and make myself look really stupid here. Oh, I just barely did it. See, I keep forgetting which button I am gonna hit the fire with, which is dumb considering I should know that. Been playing like 40 minutes before. Although I did fix the button layout because I had it set up differently before. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. I wanted it authentic to the 3DS. Okay, let's go get that missile tank. If I can. I think I should be able to get it. We shall see, anyway. Oh yeah, that'd be great if we died to that enemy. Okay, there we go. It's important that you get as many of these as you can. You can't go out that way, can you? No. I thought it looked like a little opening that you could get through, but apparently not. There's no further secrets here. Blast through the wall there. There's save in case something happens. I'm a spastic saver, forgive me. Alright. I'll just go ahead and go... here. That should turn into a regular block and not make you do a missile on it. Oh. Yep, almost. Come here. Okay, I'm not gonna get too close to these guys. I'll be dead. Alright, the beeping went away. You can thank me for that. Okay, this is a refill thing. There we go. Is there an upgrade over here? There's energy tank. Energy tank. We can use that. I did it again. Chank, I think I said. Energy chank. What's a chank? I don't know. That requires the charge beam. So we can't go through there. That's a missile door. Yeah, there's our upgrade right there. Charge beam. Just like I said, that's what we needed. Okay, so without reading the text, it's self-explanatory, really. All it really does is hold down the button, and it does this. And then you fire it at a charge door, and then you can go through it. Nah, that must have been just a refill. Okay, what? Is there anything hidden around here else? Before I move on. So you can go up, but I think, well, there is another hidden spot there. Let's go check that out. If we don't die in the process of doing it. I just want to... Okay, yeah, we'll just get that. That works. Missile tank. And let's go back to our save point, because I want to call it quits here. I think we've done plenty of a preview. Might as well go ahead and do this really quick. I don't think I needed to, but that's fine. Alright. Let's go through and get around these guys. Go here. Go up here, and we will save there. Alright. Wait for it actually to do it. Okay, so that'll be it. Thank you again for watching the Chrono Cross 1 Plays Games. Metroid Samus Returns. We'll see you next time for the next part.